Hi, this is Jacob Erdy with MarketingPlayBook.co. In this video, we're going to show you the many options you have when setting up an ad group for targeting. So first off, we haven't created any ad groups. We're inside our Denver Dental campaign. I'm going to go ahead and hit the plus ad group campaign. Here you can assign your ad group a name. I'm just going to put in keywords Denver. And then you have your CPC bid amount, which is your cost per click. So default, I generally do 0.31 starting off. This varies wildly depending upon your industry. And it's kind of getting outside the scope of this particular video. This one, we want to show you mainly the different targeting options that you have. So first off, let's talk about display keywords. Display keywords do not work the same as AdWords search. For instance, if I were to put in Denver dentist, there might not necessarily be a lot of targets out there for me just based upon that keyword. Now that is definitely a good keyword to show, but it's not like people are searching for Denver dental. What this does is AdWords takes this keyword and it looks at it and says, okay, well, what pages are about this particular keyword? So that keyword doesn't have to show within that page. All it has to do is AdWords has to make some sort of correlation saying, okay, well, this person is looking for, I shouldn't say looking for Denver Dental, but is on a page about dentists in Denver. And based upon that, they're going to associate your ad with that because of this keyword. So I'd go ahead and you put in a number of keywords, and we covered keyword research in the AdWords search campaign. You can go ahead and use the tools button and then keyword planner or display planner to help find more keywords related to your industry. Or right here, I put in Denver Dental. I can go ahead and say find related keywords, and AdWords is going to populate for me keywords that are relevant to Denver Dental. So dental, implant, dentist in, and other ones. You can go through this and see which keywords are related more to your industry. Now I still have my campaign set up for the United States, so it's showing me far more impressions than what I would actually be getting if I was just targeting people just inside Denver. When starting off, I do recommend you keep the targeting fairly tight, so you could do something like, if I'm just targeting people inside Denver, for instance, I could just put dental. Why? Because that way I would show on dental websites in general for people who are just in that search area of Denver. So I could also do dentist. However, if I was selling, let's say, dental equipment, maybe I'd want to use that, maybe I wouldn't. I'd probably do more of the product itself and model numbers and things along those lines that might have lower volume, but would have far more relevance to your product. An example might be if I was selling golf equipment. Well, here I might have golf balls in here, and that's fine, but I might have Titleist golf balls and other type of products in there that are very, very similar. I'd then have this campaign, I'd probably name this golf balls as the ad group name, so I knew the keyword targeting I was doing, and then I'd probably have the actual ad copy going to the golf balls page of my website. Now if I was selling clubs, golf clubs, I'd probably have golf clubs in here, and then I'd be sending them to the relevant website of golf clubs. Or I should say relevant web page of golf clubs. Next up, we're going to take a look at interest and remarketing. Now under interest and remarketing, you have several objects here that you can do. One is affinity audiences. So affinity audiences might be dog lovers. We'll go ahead and search that, and what this will do is this is based upon people's past search history. So right here is dog lovers. So if I'm selling dog treats, then targeting an affinity group of dog lovers can be very beneficial. Now I'm not targeting web pages about dog treats. What I'm doing here is I'm actually targeting individuals that Google has deemed to be dog lovers, and this could be based upon websites they visited as well as searches that they've done. So Google has segmented everyone into certain affinity groups. So we might just have something like gamers. So if I did gamers and we did a search for gamers, we can see if anything pops up. And right here we have action game fans. So these are people who have probably searched for action game fans or on particular web pages about action games. Hardcore gamers, role-playing games, so things along those lines. So it definitely can be a great way of targeting. And think of affinity audiences as more as TV targeting. So if I was targeting the TV show Gilmore Girls, I'm probably targeting women and not men. Next up, we have in-market audiences. Now, in-market audiences are really interesting. So these are people that Google has deemed to be in market for a particular product or service. So here we can see, let's go to autos and vehicles. And you can just scroll through this and see. So vehicles, if I was a car dealership, I might be interested in people who are searching for campers and RVs. Let's say I was an RV dealership. Well, these are people who are in market for campers and RVs. If I was a boat seller, well, people who are in market for boats. And you can also do a search here for something related. We can go ahead and let's look at beauty products real quick, because that's a fairly good one. So we can look at, if I was selling a skincare product, these are people who are actively looking in Google for skincare products. At least Google thinks they are. So they may have done, best skincare product. They may have done a search for that. So again, what we're doing is we're not targeting websites here. We're not targeting keywords. What we're doing is we're targeting people themselves. So if somebody were to go if you were to target skincare products, they could be on a website about dog training, or they could be on a news website, and your ad will show because it's based upon the individual and not the website that they're visiting. Now, there's some more powerful features here that we're quickly going to cover. One is going to be your remarketing list. So these are going to be people who have already visited your website, and you're going to set up remarketing lists. We have another video on that just under the AdWords training. It's there for you on how to create remarketing lists, and this is the best way, personally, that I think most people should get started with when advertising on AdWords Display, is actually remarketing to people who have already visited the website. So if somebody lands on your website, you have a remarketing pixel in place that then goes back to AdWords, and they start creating a list of those type of people. And then you can go ahead and set up a campaign of just targeting to people who are in your remarketing list. Same goes, let's see if I have any remarketing lists in this campaign. So it looks like I do. I own the app Local Edge, and it looks like I have users of Local Edge that I've created an audience for. Next up is video viewer lists. So these are people who have watched my ad. So we'll see here, I created a video on Do You Like Minecraft? And here I have 130,000 people who have viewed that video. So I could remarket to people who have watched my video ad. Then we have customer email lists. So if you have an existing business in place and you have a list of customers, that can be very, very powerful, because you're able to remarket to those people who have already who have already possibly bought from you or have opted in for something. So here I have emails of 4,200 people who have used my app, and I can set up a remarketing campaign to those individuals. And this is fantastic, especially if you are doing, let's say, a service-based industry and the treatments every month. You can set up a campaign of just reminding that person every other month, saying, hey, what about this? Or don't forget, it's time to do ABC. And then we have the similar to remarketing lists, and these can be very, very powerful. So if I have a list of my emailers on here, which it doesn't appear that I have enough active right now, but if I had a list of people who brought my product or service, and I uploaded that list into AdWords, is what I'm able to do is create a similar to customer email list. So these are going to be people that Google thinks match these other profiles. So Google looks at the email list and says, you know what, we know these people, we know what the type of websites they're visiting. It's then going to go out and through the back-end algorithm going to match people who are very similar in nature to that. So if you have a list, a customer list, you can upload it and then advertise to similar to customers email list. And it's a way of honing in on a particular market. The same goes for similar to remarketing lists. So these would be people who are similar to people on my remarketing list. So similar to people who have visited my golf website are probably visiting other golf websites, right? So this is a great way of really trying to build up very, very targeted display campaign. That's really what display campaigns are about. It is interruption-based advertising because these people might not necessarily have the intent of buying golf balls that day, but by us putting in and showing marketing to individuals highly related or highly interested in our products or services, we have a much higher chance of actually having a conversion. Next up, we're going to take a look at use a different targeting method, which has several in here, and I'm going to quickly cover those. So one is going to be topics, and topics is a fantastic way of finding customers based upon the website topic at hand. So for instance, let's go ahead and let's see if there is anything dental related here. I'm not sure there is. So here we have hygiene and toiletries. That doesn't necessarily fit us well. Pediatrics, oral and dental care. So that's perfect. And then this one might work for us. It just kind of depends on our targeting that we have set up. It could even be doctor's offices. And what you're doing here is what this will do is it'll show your ad on website topics that are around this. So if that page is about dental care, your ad is going to show. And the chances are if somebody's looking at a dental care type topic website, they might be interested in your product or service. You know, if I'm a Denver dentist and I'm only targeting people in Denver who are looking at oral and dental care topic websites, well, they might be in the market for a dentist, right? So topics can be a great way of targeting in on your market rather than using keywords. Next up, we have placements, and placements can be a fantastic way for more mature campaigns. So once you have a number of websites that are converting for you, you can actually use placements to say, you know what, I just want to show on one particular website. So in this instance, I did a search for dental, and this is what I came up with. And this, again, I'll just cut in real quick. Under the Tools Display Planner, you can find some of these and kind of look at them. But generally, I recommend placements for URLs that are already converting for you. So if you have a website, let's say this campaign's been live for 30 days, and I've had a number of sales and leads come in from identalhub.com, I can go ahead and create a placement campaign for just this one site. So I can start a new campaign, or I should say a new ad group, and do a placement for just iDentalHub. And when doing it that way, my ad's only going to show now on iDentalHub. It's not going to show on anything else, and because I'm not doing any keyword targeting or anything like that, I'm going to show as many times as I can possible on that website, which is a great way of trying to eat up all the traffic that is making you money. And if we hover over the ad formats, it's going to give you the multiple different ad formats that it allows. So it allows for text and it allows for multiple different types of image ads. Next up, we have demographics. And demographics work better in the United States than it does in most other countries. So if you're in, let's say, Brazil, the demographics aren't going to be quite as complete as it is in the United States. It's far better here. But still, a lot of the information is going to be unknown. So the main targeting options that you have under demographics is going to be gender, male, female, and unknown, age, and the different age groups, and then parental status. Now, just over the past year, this information has gotten a lot better. So AdWords is slowly honing in on who everybody is, which is scary in some aspects, but from a marketing point of view, that can be very, very valuable. So I can go ahead and let's say I'm targeting females. And I don't want 18 to 24. I want, we'll just do 25 and older there. Then we'll say who are a parent. And you might want to target that if you're a dental practice who is targeting children. So if you ran a pediatric dental practice, well, you'd probably want parents, right? And, you know, females it might be good, might not be good. I don't know. You really have to test. Just note that by choosing demographic data, you're going to eliminate quite a bit of your traffic because still there's a lot out there that is unknown. And then just because Google says they're a parent doesn't mean they're a parent. Just because Google identified them as not a parent doesn't mean that they're really not a parent. They could easily be a parent. So a lot of this information for parental status is still way off. So generally, I don't recommend you focus entirely on this unless your sales data actually shows you inside AdWords, hey, this is losing us money, but this other one is making us money. However, if you're in a niche and you're targeting the United States and there's a lot of volume out there, and so much volume that there's no way possible for you to buy it all, and you're having some decent success on conversions, then demographic data could be a great way of really zeroing in on your target market, which brings us up to narrowing your target market further, which is something that I don't necessarily recommend off the bat for most companies, but it's definitely something that can be very, very helpful. Now, this is called layering. So I'm going to go ahead and create a group here of, we're just going to target parents, female parents between these age ranges. And now we're going to go ahead and layer it in. So we're going to narrow our targeting further, and then we're going to select another targeting market. So we'll go ahead and do topics, and I already have oral and dental care there. And again, these statistics right here, 10 million to 50 million impressions, is based upon the United States, not Denver. But we have here, by adding in these multiple topics together, I'm telling AdWords, Google basically, that hey, I just want to show to females between this age range who are known parents who are visiting topic websites around this. Now, this could be really, really powerful if you're targeting, say, in-market audiences. So you can really focus more in and have your sales copy far more geared towards females who are parents, and your landing page could be more targeted based upon this information. Now, because it could severely limit your volume, I don't necessarily recommend layering off the bat, but it could be a great way of kind of zeroing in on your target market, especially once you have sales data inside AdWords that you can look at and see where your ads are coming from. Then you can go ahead and create new ad groups and really start to layer in. So there's a lot of powerful features here that you can do inside AdWords. Now, based upon this data that I entered in here, I don't really want my ad group name keywords Denver anymore. I'm probably going to do something along the lines of female parent topics dental. So that way, just looking at this, I can see that I'm targeting female parents and with the topics of dental. I'm going to go ahead and hit save and continue. And that is it for setting up an ad group and the different targeting options that you have inside your ad group. Now, under the PPC section on MarketingPlayBook.co, for AdWords, we do have supplemental guides there on targeting optimization on display, as well as enhanced bidding on display as well. So I would recommend you check out those written guides and videos there. And again, that's going to be on MarketingPlayBook.co under the PPC section. In the next video, we're going to be covering ad copy, as well as setting up text ads and image ads.